So about 3 weeks ago, I called my brother. I know my brother is very close with Commissioner Roger Goodell. And I called my brother. I said, hey, Sam, ask the commissioner if he'd be willing to come on Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. I said, but don't make it too awkward. Just find a way to ask him. My brother, he texts me 3 weeks ago and he says, hey, the commissioner's gonna call you. I was like Commissioner Goodell? He's like, yeah, just pick up. He's like, but here's his number. So I text Roger Goodell and I'm like, hey man, Emmanuel Acho, just need 3 minutes of your time. I get a call from a no caller ID number. And again, my only no caller ID number calls thus far. McConaughey, Oprah, now Commissioner Goodell. So I was in good hands. He picks up and he's like, hey man, it's great to talk to the smarter Acho. That's when I knew Roger Goodell was a good man. Nonetheless, I find the studio space and that's how I got here. I heard that your father, who I did so much extensive research on, was a great man. I heard that he was going to adopt children from Nigeria. Can you tell me that?
Well, this goes back to, I think, 68.
Yep.
And you may know the history better as far as the time anyway. But Nigeria and Biafra were in a
Civil War.
And so my dad went over to Biafra.
Mm-hmm.
When he came back, we had all talked about, in advance of that, adopting a little sister, because we're 5 boys. And so we were looking at any way to get a daughter, and this is the only way we could do it, is adopt one. So, but I remember him coming back and we were all disappointed because he said, I can't do that because I'm a United States congressman. And as a congressman, he wasn't allowed to do that. And we were all disappointed because of that, because we were all looking forward to having a little sister.
In my research, I saw that your father single-handedly, these are per the articles of 1968 and 1969, after going to Nigeria, he saw malnourished children. He saw starving children during the Biafran War, the Civil War in Nigeria, a war in which my father fought in. And so your dad in 1968, he sent food and medicine to that region of Nigeria. Because of these starving and malnourished and dying children. My mom would have been a child at that time. So I, at that moment, realized, honestly, a thank you from my family to your family, because I'm first generation American. And you never know the lives that you're impacting when you're making the decisions that you're making.
My wife actually sent me the first copy of an episode of Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. It was probably a couple of months ago, and I watched it, and it was an incredibly powerful episode. It was actually about the Ivy family, and looking at that family, I could see my family, my brother's family in some ways, because he has adopted an African-American child, a child from Thailand, and has a natural daughter who's from Thailand. So I could see that. Sam Acho is somebody that I have great admiration for. I went to Chicago and supported his work that he's doing in Chicago to make that community a better community and investing in that community. And I've always admired Sam. And he asked me a couple weekends ago, he called me and said, hey, would you mind if my brother called you? He hosts a show called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And I said, I'm aware of that. And he said, he wants you to come on it. And I said, sure. Within 5 minutes, I got a text from Emmanuel. And within 5 minutes more, we had a conversation and we were on our way. So that's how I got here.